over 1.3 billion people, which will quickly reach 1.5 billion people by 2050. So we know that this is also the youngest continent, so they are coming to a continent which is only going to grow.
You have a ready market, which is the difficulty of a lot of continents, but we have a market because the African continent imports more goods than any other continent. So what we need to do is to make sure that we transform our own goods. And it is very, very important more. Let me give you an example. Today, between Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, they actually produce 2/3 of the world's cocoa.
Yeah.
Okay? But the total amount of these exports that they have is about $6 billion. Okay, but the chocolate market is 100 billion.
Yeah. Yes.
So you can see that, they are just working for other people.
One thing Africa never needed was charity. All we needed was opportunity. We started with the idea of lighting 1 million homes, and now we're in 14 countries. I want to leave a legacy to where when they mention my name, or Sambo, or Chon, they'll say that these three guys were musketeers that came in and helped to develop the future of Africa and what it is today, the same way our forefathers did it for us in America.
Thank you very much. What I want to do this morning is share with you a couple of stories and talk about a different Africa. Already this morning, there were some allusions to the Africa that you hear about all the time. The Africa of HIV/AIDS, the Africa of malaria, the Africa of poverty, the Africa of conflict, and the Africa of disasters. Well, it is true that those things are going on. There's an Africa that you don't hear about very much. And sometimes I'm puzzled, and I ask myself why. This is the Africa that is changing, that Chris alluded to. This is the Africa of opportunity. This is the Africa where people want to take charge of their own futures and their own destinies. And this is the Africa where people are looking for partnerships to do this. Developing countries' monies, sitting abroad in the developed countries, if they're able to do this, what is that? Is that not corruption? In this country, if you receive stolen goods, are you not prosecuted? So when we talk about this kind of corruption, let us also think about what is happening on the other side of the globe, where the money is going, and what can be done to stop it. Get the monies that have been taken abroad, developing countries' monies, to get that sent back. Because if we can get the $20 billion sitting out there back, it may do far more for some of these countries than all the aid that is being put together. You should know that this continent is a continent of many countries, not one country. There are plenty of opportunities to invest in stable, growing, exciting economies where there's plenty of opportunity.
The manufacturing sector also offers a huge potential because it is projected that by 2025, the manufacturing sector GDP will grow from more than 500 billion to almost $1 trillion.
So living in the US, all of the seats are taken, all the big brands are there, and where here the cement is wet and you have an opportunity to create a seat at the table.
It's significant to know where you belong and where you came from. So for me, coming back here, reuniting with my ancestors, makes me feel at home. I have a culture, I have a people, I belong. That's the significance it is for me.
I don't see color here because I'm a part of the majority, and I think that's a privilege and a luxury.
She was born and brought up in the US.
I want to show people that this is not just an alternative, but a real option to live your life and be successful.
Lakeisha has no plans to move back to the US, and she's encouraging others to join her.
Any Black person that is in the diaspora, a trip needs to be made to the African continent. There's almost this like undefined closure that happens. You didn't even know you needed this. You don't even know you need closure in a certain light, but coming here, you get it, and there's almost an alignment that happens.
Continental Free Trade Agreement allows them entry and possibilities across the continent. This means, a lot of trading, a lot of production can now happen seamlessly.
And this is what you're afraid of, America? This beautiful paradise is what you're afraid of? Man, you better invest and stop playing.